Hi guys, this is Wade from Wade's Orchids here, and we're going to kind of go back to basics for a couple of installments. What I'm going to do here is we're going to do a mount, and usually what I use for mounting is cork, and this is rather expensive, but it is the best you can get. There's no better. Here is no offense to Andy, but this is something from Andy's Orchids, and it was mounted on this piece of cedar. And I find that things just do not attach themselves very well to cedar. So I use cork. And what we're going to mount today is a little Angraecoid here. This is called Angraecum didieri. And I've gone ahead and cut through all of the slats here, except for one, I think, on the mount, or on the net pot, so we can pull this out easily without disturbing the roots very much. So I guess there's more than one I didn't cut, but that can be taken care of quickly. This really does like to be mounted. However, as you can see, it can be grown in a pot. Let's see if I have soaked this for a little bit to make the roots very pliable, so I can work them in and out of the pot here pretty easily and move them around to where I need them when I mount the plant. They still want to grab on everywhere they can. There we go. So I'm going to take a look at this and remove all the media. Sometimes if you have a piece that the roots are really firmly attached to, you can let it go. Okay, there's one piece there that just has too many roots attached to it, so it can stay. And I'm just pulling off the dead roots here. And next thing to do is to prepare the mount. And it's easier if you do this first rather than last. So I have a drill here, and I'm just going to put a hole through right about here. And there we are. Now, you can use any kind of rubber coated or plastic coated wire or stainless steel or whatever. This is actually I got this. It's welding wire. It's rather lightweight. It bends easier than stainless, and it does not rot. Now, see if I can find the hole. There we go. Look at that. So I'm going to take this and bring it around here, and then we'll cut it right about there. That should be good. Okay. Now all I do is I bend this over, and if I can get the pliers over top of here to squeeze it, I will. There we go. There. Okay. Now, just bend this up, and I like to make a little bend like that, and just bring it over, and I always kind of like eyeball it like that to make sure that the hook sticks out beyond the cork. That looks pretty good. Now, hope you can see this here. What I'm going to do now is decide how I'm going to place this. This has what it looks like 3 nice leads on it already, which means that it's going to make a really nice specimen plant. We've got quite a few roots, and most of these roots were growing into the air. So I'm going to put it on just about like that. And then here I have this very coarse, probably like about 20 pound or so fishing line. I like the thicker stuff better. It's easier to work with. And I'm going to just find out where I want it to start. And here we go. So I'll hold this like this so that I'm holding on to the fishing line. Oops, there goes my mouth. We'll start over. I'm going to hold on to the fishing line with one finger. And then just wrap it around. That way you don't have to tie it to start, because tying it is a pain in the butt. Okay, I think that's the way we had it. And yeah, you'll see as I go by here that dealing with this fishing line, it can be a real pain. Some people use wire to do this. I prefer the fishing line because it does stretch, and there we go. I got it right there, and this time we'll keep this upright and make sure I have it where I want it. There we go. So the fishing line will stretch, and it doesn't really tend to cut a whole lot, and it will keep the roots on pretty good. Now this I am just tying on bare like this because this particular Angraecum likes to have its roots totally exposed. Yeah, I think we got it pretty good there. So I'll just bring it around once more. Right there. Okay, now we'll turn it upside down and tie it. This does get easier as you practice it. Now I'm going to make 3 loops here, tying the knot. You can do 3 to 5, 4. Okay. This makes what you call a blood knot. And what it does is when you put the last loop on here, or the last part of the knot, and you pull it tight, it will get tighter as you pull it. So, there we go. That was actually easier than what a lot of them are. Now, what I'm going to do is take my scissors, cut it. Now, if you are growing in the house and you do not have at least 70% humidity, I don't advise you to mount your plants unless the plant absolutely must be mounted. There are some that are like that. There's a Dyneema polybulbum, which is a really beautiful little thing. Just does not want to be potted, and you have to mount it. Same with some of the bulbophyllums like this, which this one is not too bad, but some of them put out a rhizome of several inches between growths and just will not stay in a pot. They'll come out of a pot in one growth. So they have to be mounted and left to do what they wish. But unless you have to mount a plant, and if your humidity is lower than 70%, I advise you to find a way to work around. Use a net pot. This actually had a regular pot that the net pot was stuck into, which gives a lot of humid air space there. And that worked really well. So we have just one more thing to do. Here's the label. I already attached a wire to it, and I need to put a date on. It's February of 2020. So so that way I will know when it was mounted. And then you can take it and just wrap it around here a couple of times. That should keep it from falling off. And I work it down in there. And usually you can get it long enough so that you can tuck it behind the fishing line, and it will keep itself there out of the way. And we have a nice mounted plant that hopefully will grow and bloom for many years. This is a beautiful plant when it blooms. I will hopefully have a picture up at some point here, maybe at the outtake or something, to show what one looks like in flower. So thank you very much, and this is Wade from Wade's Orchids. Hope to see you again soon. Bye bye. Take care.